My name is Ruth Douglas. I was in the class of 1945, and oh boy, what a class that was. We had so many wonderful times. We just couldn't have had better times. Um, we did just about everything we could do. I was in the academic class with a lot of the brains, I always said. Bill Farron and Ruth Wood and Nancy Fair. Anyway, I made it just the same. And I, of course, later on met Dan Kline, who was a super duper guy. I remember when I first met him, I, of course, was the biggest girl in the class. I was bigger than the teacher. And we were out in the playground, and they came in and they said, Ruth, wait till you see the big guy that just checked in the principal's office. Oh, is he tall? Yep, he sure is. I went in and there he was sitting on the desk with his feet up on the desk. And I looked at him and I thought, okay, that's it. I went out and I said, hey girls, hands off, he's for me. And of course that was true. I guess there was never anyone other than Dan, and we had a marvelous life together. Of course, he went in the service, and he went in 44, so he didn't graduate with our class. He graduated the year after, and just wonderful. I don't know how we could have had a better school. We had fun, we worked, but we had a good time. Had wonderful friends, and I still have some good friends. I still have Peggy Kaiser telling me what to do. And anyway, it was marvelous, and I certainly think it's great that you even want to come and know what I'm doing. And that's wonderful. Anyway, thank you so much. Of course, while I was in Susquehanna, I was in most all the operettas, and Sarah Linnemuth, who was our teacher, music teacher, was just wonderful. And she kept saying, Ruth, you want to keep singing because you really can do it. And I said, well, then I'll try. I certainly will. So I went on and I kept singing. I sang for most of the orchestras. I sang for the Harrisburg Symphony. I went on and did some marvelous times and sang whenever. I used to say I sang for my dinner. When I worked, they'd call and they'd say, tonight's a banquet, Ruthie, get some music, how about singing? Okay, that's fine. Free meal, why not? So I did a lot of that. And then some men came to my house one day and they said, we want to talk to you. I said, fine. They said, we've been following what you're doing in the city. You've been doing a lot of good singing with most of the bands and the symphony. We think you could be in the Miss America pageant. I said, huh? Are you kidding? I thought that was really funny, and even to think about it. But then I mentioned it to the members of my class, and everybody said, why not try it, Ruth? We'll help you. And like I say, I have a rolling pin where the people in my class would come and roll my legs to make sure I could wear a bathing suit. Anyway, I have some wonderful memories of that. And of course, getting into the pageant was a delight. And my biggest thing was having time spending 3 weeks with Jimmy Stewart on the Pennsylvania train. Met a lot of nice celebrities, which actually I wouldn't have been able to do if I couldn't have sung. And Miss Linnemuth was the one that kept pushing me into that. And so I was very fortunate to have everybody pulling for me. So I'm very lucky. Then when I was in the contest, never thought that I would get very far, but I was very fortunate and I got the title of Miss Pennsylvania. And that was such a delight, and I had so many wonderful times. And things like the owner of the theater downtown, Sam Gillum, he would call one day and he said, "Hey, Ruthie, I have a job for you." "Oh, okay. Go to the airport and pick up Peter Lawfer." I said, "Pick up Peter Lawfer? Well, I can't drive, Sam." "That's okay. I'll get your car and a driver." So I went all through town sitting on the top seat with Peter Lawfer waving to everybody in the city. So that, of course, was a wonderful, wonderful experience for me.